I was diagnosed with stage 4 or stage 5 or end stage kidney failure in 2013. I started dialysis October 2013. I got my fistula put in October 16th, 2013. And it was like a whirlwind of, uh, of new things. When I was going into the treatment, nobody warned me about how terrible it was going to be. Nobody told me about how bad it is for you. Basically, they just scared me into doing exactly what they wanted me to do. They didn't give me no other options. They said dialysis was my only hope. So my body started to hold on to water, even though I was still peeing. I was in the hospital and things were going wrong while I was there. Like, they were giving me all this saline because the doctor told them to, and it was not coming off my body. It was just building up. So they finally put a PICC line in my chest and gave me some dialysis. That was the beginning of the fucking end, I guess. And I survived. I think that through my own intuition and the things that like my downloads were telling me to do, I couldn't fathom doing them at the time. I did not have the willpower or the creativity to even think that herbs or natural behaviors could help me at the time. I was, even though I had terrible distrust for the medical industry, I had bought in completely to the effect and to the warnings that they had given me. They asked me if I wanted to die. They asked me if all this crazy shit, and like basically just noceboed me into believing that I was screwed without dialysis. I don't believe that now. I think that dialysis was a terrible mistake, and I have even learned protocols that I probably could have used before my kidney function got so bad that I was not urinating, and that I was like, becoming sick, days, like hours or whatever, like becoming sick from eating food in between dialysis visits. So in the beginning, my blood pressure flew up to like 280 over 140, and I had terrible migraines on treatment, super sick, super like vertigo, nauseous is an understatement. Just terrible experience starting dialysis, I guess, because my vascular system was clogged and fucked. My muscles were full of gunk and bullshit, sugar, sticky. My lungs were shit. My heart was barely holding on, trying to keep up my other fucking organs. My liver was fucking overworking itself. I was eating bullshit food all the fucking time. Just everything was adding up to poison. So in my terrible suffering as I continued dialysis, my diet disappeared and turned into 2 apples a day. That's all I could fucking eat. And I was just terribly sick, and having the migraines. Every single treatment that would start like an hour into treatment intensify to a crescendo of terrible pain and just stay with me, and it would take me like 17 to 28, 29 hours to recover after dialysis. And I dealt with this torture for 6 months without really noticing. My intuition gave me a breathing technique that gave me some relief, instant relief from the migraines. So I kept up this breathing technique for as long as I could, the whole 4-hour treatment. I would start an hour before treatment and continue until I could fall asleep like 7 hours after treatment. So after 6 months, I could hold this breathing technique for my survival, literally because the headache would just like start as soon as my breathing went back to normal. But I would hold this technique for like 14 hours a day, literally. And then once I was able to fall asleep during the technique, I was able to sleep after I recovered from dialysis. Like, the dialysis recovery period was more than 24 hours. It was every other day. So basically, I was always sick and screwed up. I feel like the breathing technique changed my vascular system, and I stopped having the vascular tensioning and the release and that repeating process that was causing the migraines. I believe that it changed my lungs and it changed my vascular system just from being able to hold that breathing technique for a long fucking time. And so that was like the first 6 months to a year of dialysis where, I lost my urination about maybe 3 months into dialysis, and I was only eating the apples, and through the breathing technique, I got the migraines to stop, and I was able to start to eat. And what I did notice is I was terribly hungry after dialysis. My body was holding on, and as I was becoming more conscious after dialysis and my healing time was getting shorter, I started to eat food again, and that was a big mistake. I should have just stayed on the apples and water. But anyhow, it's like I got this information downloads from my situation so I knew what to do to help myself, but like it was hard to gain the courage to actually do those things and the willpower to stay away from the foods that I was addicted to, like sugar and meat and all that good stuff. So I started to do more research once I got a little bit of wherewithal back, and I'm going through the motions of dialysis for years. And I won't even talk about the negative experiences inside the dialysis center with the medical professionals, that I was dealing with in Joliet, Illinois. I dialyzed with DaVita, a bunch of fucking piece of shit, grudge-holding people that hate the patients and don't really give a fuck about us. I realized that was the truth. And it's also a systemic problem throughout the dialysis industry, and DaVita, and worse, Fresenius. And I've dialyzed with both companies on and off for the past 9 years. This October completed my full 9 years, and so I'm in my 10th year right now. And the insights that I've gained through my research have allowed me to overcome all the problems, the typical problems that I had to deal with as a dialysis patient, and now I don't experience them at all. I'm stronger than I ever was. I'm more fit than I ever was before dialysis. My vascular system is stronger than it ever was. And this is all due to spiritual practice of meditation and breathing and herbs, and then proper diet. I ran into people on the internet and YouTube, herbalists like Patrick Delves. I got advice from him about how to eat herbs and how to take care of your body. I got advice from all sorts of people. The latest is this brother named Yaki. He has a product line called Yaki Awakened, and he is a master biochemist and herbalist, and he just breaks the shit down so that you can understand it, like understanding, you know what I'm saying? Like, the first time I watched his videos, it just like started connecting dots, man. Like, that guy has knowledge, and so now I'm pursuing that same field in my own personal studies so that I can have the knowledge and I can do something with it for myself and others. And that's the genesis of this, of the need to make these videos and talk about my experiences with dialysis. It's just that I think that if I had found a person with my knowledge, like colloquial knowledge even, not any kind of medical advice, not talking about any kind of patented words, just literally my experience, I think could help people. And if I had known what I know now back then, I could probably be like on the other side of this already, but I'm approaching the crescendo of being on the other side of this. And so it's just about willpower and staying tight to a specific diet, and staying tight to the guidelines of food combining, and it's just staying tight to, any kind of self-control. And it's not easy, it's difficult, but when your life is on the line, you start to realize things about yourself that you didn't know before. So what up, Terrell? That's my nephew. So basically, I think I'm gonna end the video now. People are coming in here. My nephews are up. So yeah, I'm gonna stop there, and I'm gonna just go ahead and publish this on my page. Honestly, I'm a new creator, so like things that I do are gonna seem kind of crude, but I think it's the most important thing for me is to get the information out there and into the world, and I can make new videos later. So I say peace, and get yourself some woke knowledge. Have a good day.